Hey, it's Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions. How's everybody today? I'm here in a very cold Manitoba waiting for my truck to be serviced, answering a few questions. And KL Hudson asked, how can they get over test anxiety when you're trying to take, I think they were taking a written test. But you know, as many of you know, and many of you have followed me, know that I absolutely bombed the road test. And personally, it was, and I've mentioned this before, it's probably the worst road test in history. It was very bad. It wasn't the written test. I had passed the written test earlier pretty handily, and then I got to the road part and just fell apart. Anxiety is something, I think it's a little hard for an individual to try to help another individual with the anxiety part of it. What I can do is tell you my story and how I was able to get past the anxiety of the second test, which I knew I had pretty much had to pass. They don't give you forever just to keep failing it and doing it. So the second time I did my road test, I had did some extra training with the instructors. I actually just screwed up with the splitter on my test, and not going up and down the proper way. Pretty easy fix. I could drive, did a lot of driving, and drove the truck pretty well. But you know, one of the things for me was I was able to, and with the instructor's help at C1 Springfield, I was able to build confidence when I got into the truck with them and said, look, Wayne, you know how to drive, you know how to do it. Just like if you know the answers to the question, anxiety will get the best of you. Just think about it when you're on the road too. You're gonna have anxiety, you gotta push past that so you're safe out there. What I did was just, I got confident. I really did. The second time I was like, I'm just gonna do it and push all the anxiety to the side and just know that I have to pass this test because I knew I could do it. I think knowing you can do it is a huge thing. Knowing that I was a good driver and the instructors were there, I went, when I had failed, I had like 3 or 4 days with them on a Saturday as well. All of them, the different ones, were checking me out and said, you can drive, Wayne, you just need to put that onto your the part with the road test, and that way you'll pass. And I did on the second time. I think a lot of that came with confidence. A lot of that I think came with the ability for me to be able to push the anxiety aside. I think the anxiety was getting a little bit worse knowing I was going into the second one, but finally I just had to stop. Just had to stop and remind myself I knew how to drive a truck and I could pass that test, which I did. Test anxiety, a lot of people go through it. So, you know, a written part, if you know it, and then you're getting worried. The worrying part is where the anxiety starts and where it will really get to you. So you just got to somehow find a way to get confident when you're in there and know that you know the material. As I mentioned, it's really hard for me to give advice to another person on what works best. So hopefully, KL, that answers it a little bit. So this is Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions, with the positive path to trucking success. Check me out, Trucker Wayne, on Facebook, and also check me out at www.truckerwayne.com.